Hey there, guys. All right, today we are back with some more geography now, this time onto Lebanon. Before I dive in, make sure you go and check out the links in the description box below. I would love it if you joined the Discord and followed me over at Twitch. Okay, Lebanon. Really got nothing to say. It's a country in the Middle East, on the coast there, across from Cyprus, north of Israel and Palestine. I think it's nestled in between Israel and Syria. It's like in that corner or something like that. Nestled, hugged right in there. I don't know much about it. Let's dive in.
If you put Lebanon in a party and asked all the people to describe him, you'd probably get something like this.
He's very proud of his Catholic roots, but I think he said something about being Maronite.
Oh, he was all about being Shia Muslim and loving Iran. He couldn't stop talking about Iran.
Oh man, he hated Iran. He told me he just got back from a vacation from Saudi Arabia visiting his friends.
He said he was like, Druze? Like, what's that?
Oh, nous avons eu une merveilleuse conversation sur la politique. J'étais surprise qu'il puisse me comprendre.
Dude, he was a total, absolute party animal.
He said he loved to read.
He gave me wood. Like literally, he gave me this wooden cutout of Lebanon made out of cedar wood. So Lebanon, who are you?
It's time to learn geography now.
Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbs. Oh, Lebanon, you're such a man of mystery. Or should I say 18 mysteries. We'll cover that in a little bit. But first, where does this man of mystery lie?
Do.
Lebanon may be small, but oh man does it have a truckload of stuff coming out of it. First of all, Lebanon is located in the rocky yet fertile areas of West Asia known as the Levant, located
Haha, I was right. It is north. Yeah. Look at me go. I know my geography.
roughly in this area of the East Mediterranean. The country is just a hop away from the island of Cyprus and surrounded by Syria to the east and north, as well as Israel to the south, with the small dispute in the Golan Heights over the Sheba farms. Although, yeah, that entire Golan Heights area is kind of, just watch the Israel episode. Otherwise, the country is divided into 8 governorates, with the capital city Beirut itself acting as its own governorate, which by the way, Beirut was destroyed like 7 times throughout history, but like Betty White's career, it keeps coming back. Right?
What?
Which, by the way, Beirut was destroyed like 7 times throughout history, but like Betty White's career, it keeps coming back.
Oh,
Betty White is like,
anyway, it's been like a year. Has it been over a year already since you've been gone? No. When did Betty White die? Hold up. Betty White. It's been almost 2 years. Been almost 2 years. Miss you, Betty White.
so dope.
The largest cities after Beirut are Tripoli in the north, yeah, I know, there's another one, and Junia, a little closer to Beirut. However, the Lebanese trinity would be Tripoli, Beirut, and Tyre, or Sur. These 3 cities along the coast, maybe also Sidon, are like the PR directors of Lebanon. These are like the best places to start if you visit. The country has 1 main public international airport, Beirut's Rafik Hariri International. Otherwise, about 3 military airports exist as well. Off the coast of Tripoli, Lebanon administers the uninhabited Palm Islands, a nature reserve. Otherwise, there's Zira Island by Sidon, and everybody knows about the Raouche Rock off of Beirut. But yeah, not
Yeah, dude, I've heard about that. Everyone knows about it, you know?
many islands off the coast. So here's the thing, Lebanon has a lot of history. Like seriously, the country in itself is mentioned in the Bible like 70 times. The borders today are pretty much the result of the French Mandate times after the Ottoman Empire.
Good job, France. You didn't screw anything up with Britain. Nothing. Didn't screw up anything.
But prior to the modern times, there was Phoenicia, an empire that extended all the way across the Mediterranean on North Africa to Spain, which also became the Carthaginian Empire that kind of opposed the Romans. And before all this, there was the ancient state of Canaan. All these states took over the region that Lebanon is in today. These places go back over 7,000 years. We're talking about the time when people were like just discovering what farming was. So essentially, everywhere you step could potentially be a historic site in Lebanon. I mean, they found Phoenician temples buried under churches, buried under mosques. The town of Byblos is possibly the oldest city, starting somewhere around 5000 BC. Lebanon is old. Today, though, the country thrives in a modern state. Beirut, sometimes called the Paris of the East, but then again, there's like 20 other places that claim that title. Some notable spots might include places like the beaches of Junia, the ruins of Baalbek, the Temple of Bacchus and Jupiter, the Phoenician Temple of Eshmun, the Beit Edin Palace, the Roman Baths, ski resorts in Faraya, Jeta Grotto, Musa Castle, the
Ooh.
Families of Qadisha Valley, Our Lady of Lebanon of Harissa, Muhammad Al-Amin Mosque, Jabal ad-Druz, various Crusader castles built all over, the National Museum of Beirut, the Sidon Soap Museum, and probably one of the most iconic
Forest.
landmarks, the Cedar Forest Reserve. Why is it so important? Well, let's just say they didn't put a cedar tree on their flag for nothing. Speaking of trees, it's time to move on to...
Bum bum.
It's often said that in Lebanon, you can ski in the morning and swim at the beach in the afternoon all in one day. The name Lebanon even comes from the Phoenician word that translates to white, referring to the snow caps of the mountains you can find there. Lebanon is divided into 4 main geographic regions: the coastal plain along the Mediterranean, the Lebanon mountain range, where you can find the tallest mountain, Mount Lebanon, the Bekaa Valley, and the anti-Lebanon range, or as I like to call it, the Lebanot range.
Nah.
Hey Caleb, good seeing
Paul.
you again.
Good seeing you.
What are you up to, man? You good? You good?
I'm good, man.
Yeah. What was the last episode you were in?
I think it was Germany, maybe?
Oh yeah, we did that gluten-free skit. Yeah. So anyway, these mountains are the source of most of the country's fresh water supply as the ice caps melt, providing 13 main rivers. However, the longest river in the country, the Litani, actually starts in the Bekaa Valley, which gets backed up into the Karaun Reservoir, the largest lake in the country, and empties into the Mediterranean. The interesting thing is that these 2 mountain ranges and the Bekaa Valley are all formed by the same rift system that goes all the way down to Mozambique, caused by the Arabian plate grinding up against the African plate. When it comes to pros and cons, pro, Lebanon doesn't have any deserts. It has great weather, a little arid, but mostly lush and green.
Nice.
Con, just like Jordan and Israel, they have pretty much no oil. But you know,
Rip.
lots of countries don't have oil and they're doing fine, so no biggie. For what it's worth though, Lebanon's landscape is loaded with fascinating views and formations, like the Batara Gorge waterfall, known as the Cave of 3 Bridges. Can we just take like a few seconds to appreciate it? Now, if there's one thing that symbolized, you know what? Yo, Caleb, take this next part.
Why?
Why not?
Okay, if there had to be one thing that symbolized Lebanon, it would have to be the famous cedar trees. Known throughout the ancient world as some of the most highly prized and sought after trees due to their nice yellow color, fragrance, extracts, durability, and immunity to insects. Today, about 14% of the country is forested, and they hope to boost that number up to 20% by 2020. The national animal
Did they do it? 'Cause it's past 2020.
is the striped hyena. Really? Cool. Yeah, I guess hyenas are up in this area.
Dude, awesome job, Caleb. Yeah, I'll take it from here because this next part has some hard to pronounce words and I'll take the embarrassment from you.
Oh, that's very considerate of you.
Yeah, you know, you're my buddy. All right. Food. Now, when it comes to Lebanon, you'll find like this interesting mix between Middle Eastern and Western. Now, every Lebanese person I talk to has said that I have to mention kibbeh, made in various ways, sometimes raw. In addition, Lebanon is
Fucking raw.
famous for tabbouleh, fatouche, manish, or mankish, manouche, however you freaking pronounce it, akawi cheese, and snood el set. One controversy I was told was that sometimes in Lebanon, getting consistent electricity is a little bit of a hassle in certain areas. The government only provides partial power sporadically throughout the day, and you have to pay like a local generator to provide the rest of your power. Also, when it comes
That kind of sucks.
to buying imported electronics, it kind of goes like this.
Hey, I hear that you're the only guy around here that sells laptops. Do you think I can get one?
Sure thing. It's just gonna cost you your entire month's salary for this baby right here.
That sounds outrageous.
Well, the government says that I can set whatever price I want, buddy.
Well, here's the deal. I'm gonna take my business elsewhere.
Go on ahead.
You're the only guy that sells laptops, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why there's like
You're the only guy that sells laptops, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why there's like an underground electronics market. Anyway, sweet. I think that just about covers it. Now let's learn about that incredibly confusing mystery man that we met at the beginning of this episode, shall we? Pope John Paul II visited Lebanon in 1997 and was noted for declaring that Lebanon is more than just a country. It's a message of freedom, an example of pluralism for East and West. Now that's one way of putting it. I kind of like to see it as a guy that has a beautiful case of multiple personality disorder. Mental health is not a joke. I can't believe you would write that in a script. You're basically the next Hitler. I can't believe that you would even try. It wasn't a demeaning joke at the expense of suffering people. It was a comparison portrayed in a metaphorical context with a positive undertone. Not once did I even say that having MPD was bad. You're the one that assumed it. Yeah, take notes, guys. That's how it's done. First of all, the country has just over 6 million people, around 8 million if you include the non-citizen residents and refugees, and it has the largest number of refugees per capita in the world at over 200 per 1,000 inhabitants. That's about 1 out of 5. That is 1 out of 5. Now here's the thing, making that demographics graph is going to be virtually useless because technically no official census has been taken since 1932 due to the
What?
sensitivities of political balance between the people groups. Therefore, accurate data is not taken since 1932 due to the sensitivities of political balance between the people groups.
His voice is sounding, the audio is sounding quieter to me. I'm probably gonna have to edit that in post.
Therefore, accurate data is not exactly available when it comes to numbers and statistics. However, most authorities will say that in the broadest, non-divisive sense, around 95% of the population is Arab and 4% are Armenian, whereas the rest are other people groups. Saying that the majority of the population is Arab, though, is incredibly loose because Arabs are incredibly different in this country. So Lebanon actually usually likes to follow the religion chart rather than the ethnicity one. Lebanon has 18 recognized religious sects. The largest one falls under Islam at about 55% of the population. Christians make up about 40%, and the Druze make about 5%. Of the Muslims, about half are Sunni and half are Shia, and of the Christians, the largest sect would be the Maronite and Melkite Catholics, Greek Orthodox, and Armenian Apostolic, with other small sects in between. And for those of you that were wondering, the Druze are like an ethno-religious group of people found in the Levant. They have a large community around Jabal al-Druz. They have a somewhat secretive belief system that kind of incorporates elements of Islam, Greek philosophy, and even a little bit of Hinduism, as they believe in things like reincarnation and a cosmic mind. Now keep in mind, there are somewhere between 1.1 to 2 million refugees living in Lebanon, mostly Syrians and Palestinians. These people have limited rights as non-citizens and are usually the center of hot topic issues in Lebanon. Oh yeah, and they use the Lebanese pound as their currency, but they also accept US dollars. They use the type A, B, C, D, and G plug outlets. Yeah, they just go for everything. And they drive on the right side.
Hear that, Britain? The right side of the road. Britain and all the other wrong countries. The right side of the road. It's correct. It's right.
Of the road. Now here's the thing, calling a Lebanese person Arab might actually get a few rebuttals. Some Lebanese people I have talked to have said that they technically don't even identify as Arab, but rather Phoenician, or in some extreme cases, Canaanite. I don't know. If you're Lebanese, write down in the comments, do you consider yourself Arab or Phoenician? Culture-wise, the Lebanese play by a whole different set of rules. First off, the ancient Phoenicians supposedly invented the first alphabet consisting of 22 consonants and no vowels. This would later inspire the alphabets of other languages. Although Arabic is the official language, Lebanese Arabic is very noticeably different from Standard Arabic. Since French and English are taught mandatorily in schools, most people are bilingual or trilingual. The Armenians are usually quadrilingual. Lebanese Arabic infuses a lot of French and English words. For example, one greeting all Lebanese people know is Hi, Kifak Sava, which incorporates all three languages in one phrase. English, Hi, Arabic, Kifak, and French, Sava. Sentences typically mix up the languages all the time too. For example, in Standard Arabic, you might say Marhaban, ana ismi barbs. But in Lebanese Arabic, Bonjour, ana esmi barbs. Okay, enough on language. Lebanon's government is interesting too. They follow a confessional democracy, kind of similar to what Bosnia and Herzegovina does. The head positions of office must be held proportionally by someone of each main confessed religious community. The president must always be Maronite Christian, the prime minister a Sunni Muslim, the speaker of the parliament a Shia, and the deputy speaker an Eastern Orthodox practitioner. This system is intended.
Wait, hold on. Why do each of those roles have to be that specific religion? Why can't, why can't the prime minister be a Maronite and then the president or whatever be Sunni?
To deter sectarian conflict, to keep the various contrasting people groups united. And here's where we get into the controversy I'm sure you're all waiting for, Hezbollah. What exactly is Hezbollah? I'm sure you've probably heard of them in the news. Basically, it's a political party mostly run by Lebanon's Shia community, whom actually holds seats in parliament, backed by Iran and Assad-led Syria. They've conducted a series of controversial actions that have earned them the title of a considered terrorist group by various governments in both the Arab and Western world. We don't really have time to get into it, but basically, they've been the central figures of a lot of drama. Look it up. Speaking of which, history. Now, this is where things get a little complex because each of the 18 people groups kind of has their own version of Lebanese history, and we really don't have a lot of time to get far into it, but the quickest way I can put it, Phoenicians, Assyrians, yeah, you already know about all the empires, we've done this like 12 times, Crusaders, Ottoman Empire, Great Famine of 1915, French Mandate, Lebanese fight for independence, Golden Age, Lebanese Civil War, War with Israel, Syrian occupation, Cedar Revolution, 2006 War with Israel, 2012 Syrian immigrant crisis, and here we are today. Today, Lebanon actually has more Lebanese people in diaspora than there are actually in Lebanon, at around 14 million. These people are mostly Christian Lebanese that fled during conflict years. Today, the largest concentrations are found in Latin America, in places like Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, where Shakira's dad met her mom and they made Shakira. The Lebanese are known for being the biggest party animals of the Arab world. I mean, it's kind of bound to happen when you celebrate both Muslim and Christian holidays. Some notable people from Lebanon or with Lebanese descent might include people like Carlos Slim, Gebran Khali Gebran, Eli Saab, Georges Khabaz, Pierre Chamassian, Mei Shidiak, Fairuz, Maxime Chaya, Saint Charbel, Nicholas Hayek, Haifa Webe, Majida El Rumi, the Rabbani brothers, Nancy Ajram, Rageb Alama. So much covered. Alas, we must move on. Let's see how many people Lebanon invites to their parties now, shall we? So again, just like we studied in the Bosnia and Herzegovina episode, Lebanon has a very diverse populace, so it really depends on who you ask in Lebanon when it comes to know their best friends. If you ask the Sunni Muslims, they'll probably tell you Saudi Arabia. Tons of support comes from the Saudis, and they provide economic assistance. If you ask the Shias, they'll probably say Syria under Bashar al-Assad and Iran, especially people in Hezbollah. If you ask the Christians, they'll most likely say France or the USA, since the French have had historically close ties, and the USA does great business and investments. I mean, why do you think they use the dollar as their second currency? Plus, to get to practice their language skills on these people. If you ask the Armenians, of course, they'll probably say Mother Armenia, and possibly Greece or the Greek side of Cyprus. Armenians and Greeks have been dating each other for centuries. They love each other. Otherwise, Egypt is pretty much a close friend to all of them. The two countries are kind of like co-stars in the media world for Arabs. Many movies and TV shows use both Egyptians and Lebanese people, which brings a bond in itself. In conclusion, mystery solved. The man at the party is truly a man of complexity, yet despite the controversies, he holds it all together because, hey, why worry about it when it's party time? Stay tuned. Lesotho is coming up next.
And that was Geography Now, Lebanon. This was an okay episode. It felt a little dragged out, but also not at the same time. I don't know. It was weird. I think the first half felt a little dragged out for me. The last part here was a little quick too. So it was both whiplash. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.